When closeness becomes too much. On avoidance, empathy, and the silent poison of disconnection. There are people who simply can't be there when you really need them. Not because they're bad, but because closeness feels unbearable to them. They're called avoidants, and they're experts at confusing distance with calmness, stillness. No matter if friends, siblings, partners, or children, everyone can have those patterns. You notice it in the small moments. You share something personal, something real, and all that comes back is silence or a shallow word. No questions, no "how are you?" Just a cold, empty echo. There are moments when all you need is a touch of humanity. A word, a sign, a bit of warmth. It could be an accident, an illness, surgery, or simply a day when you feel weak. But when you share that with an avoidant, they rarely respond with empathy. You might get a polite "thanks" or a distant "oh," or nothing at all. And that's when you feel how loud silence can be and how painful it is. The most painful part isn't the silence itself. It's the waiting, that quiet hope that maybe this time they'll respond, that maybe they'll notice what you need, a small sign of care, a bit of genuine presence, but it never comes. Not because they don't want to, but because they can't. They don't know how. Avoidants live trapped in their own world, a world where emotions are too loud and closeness feels like danger. They keep their distance, polite, calm, and cold. And then you see the difference between them and people who are emotionally available. Healthy connected friends ask. They say, "How are you? Was it bad? Can I do something? Can I help you?" They show up, not perfectly, but humanly, kindly. With avoidance, it feels like talking to a wall. You share something real and receive emptiness. It's like speaking into a black hole where closeness disappears into. Avoidants don't run from you. They run from emotions, from responsibility, from connection they can't control. So they meet pain with distance, honesty with silence, openness with withdrawal. They keep their world neat, quiet, controlled, but it's empty. And the tragic part is, they think they're protecting themselves, but in truth, they're losing what they need most, connection. Waiting for empathy from an avoidant is like waiting for rain in the desert. It won't come. And every time you hope that you get that, a little more inside of you dries up. So expect nothing, not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. Avoidants can't give closeness until they face themselves, until they truly feel they need to self-reflect and get therapy. But that's not your responsibility. If you're someone who feels deeply, who listens, empathizes, and shares honestly, don't lose that gift, even if others can't return it. Don't withdraw because they can't reach you. Withdraw because you deserve to protect yourself. Invest your energy in people who respond, who feel, who stay. Avoidants are trapped in their silence, but you don't have to stay there with them. Expect nothing from them, but expect everything from yourself. Clarity, feeling, dignity. True strength isn't the absence of emotion. True strength is being able to feel without falling apart. At first, you think it's a coincidence. You wait, you hope, maybe they'll answer later, maybe they'll realize you needed something, but nothing comes. And then you understand. It's not a coincidence, it's their pattern. Avoidants don't run from you, they run from closeness, from the possibility of being needed, because being needed means feeling responsible, holding space for emotions, tolerating uncertainty. And they can't, so they retreat, not loudly, not cruelly, but in a quiet, polite silence that feels like a slow motion hit. Right in the face. And then you see the difference between them and people who are emotionally available. People without an avoidant style simply respond like humans. They listen. They ask, "How are you?" They check in. They show care, not because they have to, but because it's natural to them. That's empathy. That's connection. That's what we all deserve. But those who've known an avoidant know that tiny hope. Maybe this time they'll respond. Maybe this time they'll understand. But avoidants live in a world where emotions are too loud and closeness is too much. And if you keep waiting, you wear yourself down. The greatest lesson is this: expect nothing. Not because you've given up, but because you've finally seen that real connection lives elsewhere. Unless they are in therapy. Because, yes, these patterns can be healed. But without them healing, the way out isn't a cold heart, it's a clear view. You are allowed to feel, but you must protect yourself. You can be disappointed, but you don't have to turn bitter. You can understand that some people simply can't love the way you do. And it's not about blame, but about boundaries. Avoidants teach us that not everyone who's quiet is peaceful. And not everyone who seems calm is kind. But they also teach us something else, how precious real people are. Those who ask, listen, care, without needing to be asked. Expect nothing from avoidance. Expect everything from yourself. Honesty, emotion, and the courage to keep your heart open, even when others can't hold it. Thank you.